Welcome to being Sharon Gibson's podcast, BSG.
Hello, BSG Fighters. Welcome back to another episode. This is season 6, episode 7, featuring Robert Akota Amoafo, a strategist, a writer, a certified coach, and trainer. As intended, I'm going to transform your mind into a strong and positive mind. Before I dive into today's topic, I'd like all of you to know that my TikTok and YouTube community are different from my podcast community, so check out the videos on these platforms. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm just calm. I celebrated my birthday not too long ago.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah,
that's so nice.
I feel so grown and I'm so happy.
I hope you had fun.
Yeah, I did. It was just like, I'll just get good news upon good news. I felt like the universe was just opening up to me. So I loved it. I did.
That's good to hear. I'm excited to hear this.
Can you tell us more about yourself?
So my name is Robert Akota Amoafo, as you mentioned. I am a strategist. I am a certified organizational development and personal development trainer and coach. I'm also a human rights activist. I work for international and regional organizations on human rights, and I support clients to ensure that they put their organizations in check and very well in place so that they can achieve their organizational goals and personal goals as well as for individuals.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, so today's episode is titled Making Personal Development a Priority. As usual, I'll be sharing some top rules for success by a highly successful person. Today's person is Aliko Dangote. He is a businessman and an industrialist. First on the list today is be focused and be dedicated. Choose your path in life and focus on it. And number 2, embrace technology as a way to cut costs. So Robert, let's dive right into our topic of discussion. So most people do not understand the importance of self-development and accept whoever they are programmed to be. How does one get into the habit of constant development?
First of all, to say that we are human beings made of so many things.
Yeah.
And we are not just one thing or not set to do one particular thing in our life. I always tell people that we don't have a purpose, we have purposes because we play so many roles in our lives. We are important in so many diverse ways. So the first thing is recognizing how powerful we are for what we are filled with and giving as human beings. The potential, what we call potential. We have a potential when you are born as an individual. You have a clean slate.
Yes.
And you come into this world with so many possibilities. And so your first idea and the first lesson you need to learn is that one, you are powerful and you have so many things in you. People say, God will do it. God will give me something. God will make this happen. No, God has given us everything we need as individuals. The first thing we need to learn is that God has given us, or whatever supernatural being you believe in, the science you believe in, whatever it is you believe in, remember that you have the infinite possibilities aligned to you. What you need to know is that you are important and growing yourself is your responsibility. You are endowed with everything, but the first and important thing you need to know is nobody will come and develop it for you. Not government, not school, not your employer, not anybody but yourself. So growing yourself is very, very important. This is the first step that you need to know about self-development. You have the possibility and every responsibility to grow yourself or grow whatever capacities or potentials in you is your job.
That's so true. I do agree with you, and I do believe that everything you need to become the person that you want to be is within you. So I always say, I really love that you're talking about God, because at first I was like, God, I don't want to be so cringe and talk about you all the time, even though I have a great relationship with him, right? But the truth is, one thing I've gotten to discover is that your relationship, what you have with God, is not transactional. It's not about he giving you stuff, but it's just like a relationship. You having a relationship with him doesn't mean you're going to have all these good things or you're going to be successful in life.
Yeah.
Anything you want in life is already made available for you. That's why people don't understand why, quote unquote, some unbelievers do well in life, because they understand that everything that I need is made available to me. Then you get to decide, okay, do I want to have a relationship with the creator or not? It's not by force. It's a choice. I love what you said. Like, it is your responsibility for you to grow yourself. You have to get up and put in the work. Sometimes your body doesn't even feel like it. That's why you don't succumb to your flesh and your body. Rely on your soul and your spirit, because there are times where certain things that I wanted to do, I didn't have the energy to do it. Once I get into the act, all of a sudden, again, I have energy. And it's like, okay, so what happened a few minutes ago?
There are phases of our life. Every individual, I lived a particular life where when I was growing up, there was something I was focusing on and I was so geared about.
Yeah.
Like you said, I achieved it. I was excited. I'm happy. Now they said I have to dream a new dream.
Yes.
A bigger dream. I have to set another purpose for myself and move towards that purpose as I grow older, as I live in the world, in various areas of my life. And also the second thing is that apart from the phases of our lives, we have various areas of our lives.
Yeah.
Okay, you go to school, you have relationship with your family, so those things are so many things that you need to groom and prepare yourself to be able to avail yourself to and make the best out of each area of your life so that you become a holistic person, so that when you die tomorrow you are not worried, or you are not, oh, I'm dying, I'm so live a life that makes you grow yourself in a way that you can do so many things. It doesn't matter the age you are told that you have a disease or something, you are so fulfilled in your heart that I lived.
That's very deep. And not to be so pompous, but the truth is, that's one of the reasons why I'm not afraid of death, right? Because each day I live a fulfilled life. I do things that I want to do, and I push myself, see myself do things that I didn't imagine that I could do. So I always tell myself that if, the universe or God decides that, okay, Sharon, it's time for your work on earth is done, I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't even be mad at anybody. My spirit would be at rest. Why? Because I am following my path and I'm living a fulfilled life, and I'm not living for anybody. Like I said on the previous episode, that I have the greatest wealth of all time, which is the understanding of life and my mindset, and also peace. Once you have those things, like money is good. I have a great relationship with money. I've never lacked in my life. But by having these things, having this wealth has made my life so full. And sometimes I just go like, even at this age, I have these things. Like I am so blessed, because like people live like decades in order for them to arrive at this. But I'm in my 20s, I'm able to have this, and I'm like in my late 20s.
Yes.
Let me shout to late 20s because I'm a grown woman. I've been able to achieve this. Wow. And all this is possible because of development. And I promise you, there hasn't been a year that has gone by without me developing myself in some way, whether it's the creative way or it's just like my person or my body or something. I'm always finding a way to do something to add to my life. So if I'm supposed to sit down with you right now and have a conversation about my life, I promise you your jaws will drop. And I'm really happy because I always seize the opportunity to do things, and I don't procrastinate, and I find ways to develop myself. So what is your take on this phrase? This is how I am.
I think it is people who have closed mindsets that says a sort of statement, that this is who I am and I can change. And no, we are human beings of learning. God has given us the infinite capacity to listen, to hear, to think, and to decide. So if you say that all these things that he has given you, or whatever thing you believe in has given you, or whoever you are, you have all these capacities, and you decide not to use it and say, I am somebody who writes this way and I am not ready to listen, to hear, to process, and to consider, then you are stuck in your life. That is it. There's no way you're going to grow bigger. You're not going to grow better because you are not ready to learn, and we are learning beings, and we need to have a learning mindset, so that if somebody says, I don't think this is right, you don't say, no, that's it. But your question is, tell me more.
Yes.
I need to understand. And I read a book, Stephen Covey in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People talks about this idea of listening to understand, how we listen is important. So people are listening to respond or to talk. But if your goal is to listen to understand, you're not quick to give response. You're not quick to give an answer. You're not quick. Your mind is open and ready to consume information and process it before you speak. So people who listen to understand, listen quietly, take in the information, sometimes will tell you, give me time to munch over this. Or I hear you, maybe someone tells me, Robert, the way you speak is too fast. I say, oh, that's nice. Thank you. I hear you. I will look at it and I'll work on it. That makes you somebody who is open-minded and helps you to grow bigger.
Well articulated. This particular statement is one reason why the saying that age is just a number is valid. Because you will meet, I don't know if you've ever met people in their 50s and their 60s and their 70s who sound, excuse my word, very dumb. And you're like, how have you lived decades on this earth and you're speaking this way or acting this way? And it's because of this statement that they have in their head that this is how I am, because they don't want to change. And it's sad. It's really sad because you miss out on life if you do that. Truth be told, sometimes it's really hard for us to take critics and people saying, oh, you speak too fast. Oh, you're very aggressive. Oh, it's very hard to accept that, because sometimes you like it when you're in the moment and you're doing those things and you're speaking fast. Like, you like it. You like that part of you. But is that part of you really going to help your future self or even helping your present self? As evolving human beings, how do we embrace change at every stage of our lives?
First, we must know ourselves, seek to know ourselves, because it's only when we understand ourselves and we know who we are, then we are able to adapt to the changes that happen in our lives. So do a lot of work on journaling. What am I doing? Every day when you close from work, sit down, reflect on your day. And see, how did I go today? Was what I said to this person, was it harsh? How did I enjoy the gracefulness somebody showed to me? How did I write the document I was writing? Just reflect on your day every day and be conscious. I always tell people, live with intention, live awake, don't live passive. Living awake means I am aware. If I am even telling somebody, excuse me to say, if I'm even insulting somebody, I am aware that I'm doing it. When I'm apologizing, I'm not apologizing to say it's the devil that made me do it, or I'm sorry, I didn't know what happened to me. No, I am aware each level of myself.
I love that.
What I'm saying, what I'm doing, it's intentional, and that is what it means, that you'd have to be very, very careful what you say, what you do, because you take time to think about it, because you know yourself. So before you do anything, you are very much aware. And then we understand the world keeps evolving.
It does.
And change is constant. Change is like the day. It's like the way we wake up every morning. Every morning is a new day. New things are going to happen. You don't know what is going to happen. So as a human being, you need to prepare yourself so that when there is change in the world, you are ready to adapt. So for instance, now there's AI. I hear people say, oh, it is bad. Why are you using it? Why don't you it's only lazy people that are using it. And then I decided to do a little research and find out what are the things that people have talked about the same way. Do you know that everything that has been invented to improve human beings' life, people criticized it at the beginning?
That's so true.
So for instance, calculator was seen to be a dangerous thing that is not going to make children think. But today, see, we are all using it. So it's about preparing yourself every day through personal development so that you can adapt to the changes that are happening in the environment. You are not caught by surprise. Even when you are surprised, you've laid some tools in your tools box by developing yourself, so that in the office, if they now say, oh, now we want people who know how to use AI to do something, you didn't shun it, but you paid attention to read and learn, so that when there is any change in the space, you are able to adapt to the change. So that's what I would say to people around preparing yourself for change and being ready for your environment.
Beautifully said, to be honest.
Are you ready for the comfort break question? Comfort break question.
The comfort break question for today is, what 3 things would you do if you were invisible?
Number one, I think the first thing I would love to do is to vanish and rest.
Oh, I thought you would have said steal from the bank.
No, I need to rest. I mean, some of us work so much, and because of what we love, whatever work I'm doing, I love it. So I do it like it's like my second self. I don't do it because it will give me money. I do it because I love it, So that is what I'll vanish to do. The next thing is I'll be invisible to hear the conversations of Kalama Harris now.
Ooh, you want to know her 2 thoughts?
Exactly. I
Oh,
say,
I love her.
madam.
I love her so much. You have no idea. See,
Yes,
the
yes.
truth is, obviously, social media can lie, the internet can lie,
Mm,
right? But your
mm,
intuition never lies. So
mm,
I just feel like
mm.
intuitively right and good about her,
Yeah.
thinking
Mm,
about her and hearing her speeches and how she
mm.
speaks. And she's just right. Like, there's so
Yeah.
many things that obviously I didn't used to follow politics, but after Kamala Harris, I'm feeling like I could be a politician. I kid you not. Like, I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to join the French government or something.
It's possible.
I know. Like, she's giving me that vibe. Like, you see how powerful she
Yeah,
is?
exactly.
But
Yeah,
that's interesting. And what's the last thing
yeah.
you would do?
And the last thing is I want to be invisible around Mbappe. Is it
Mbappe
Mbappe?
has moved.
Yeah, so I really want to be invisible around him and move with him, and you don't know I'm around him.
Why do you want to be a footballer?
No, you see, some people who are that great, you just want to be around them,
That's true. Their aura.
his simplicity, but his greatness. People who are simple but have greatness are so fascinating to me. So I want to learn and I want to know, what does he do, when he's preparing to go and be this great. What does he, just to know these things. So those are the three things I'll do.
Oh, but you're saying deep things. So me, number one, I'll rob a bank. Number two, I'll go stay in a five-star hotel with a five-star hotel without paying. Like, I'll do everything. Number three, I'll go to all the luxurious stores in France and I'll steal from all of them. Me, it is criminal. Criminal things I would do. I'm sorry, but like, I'm a criminal. I always think, like, I'll just go and get some 1 million euros and put it down.
You know.
Our next question, aside physical exercises, what are some of the ways people could develop themselves? And the reason why I asked this question is because I've met so many guys who look so stunning. Their body, face, everything. Oh my God, you want to eat them up. But their mindset and the rest is nothing to write home about. So aside physical exercises, what are some of the ways people could develop themselves?
I mean, our brains are where we live. And our brains control everything that we do, from how we see, the blood that flows in our bodies, everything. So the first thing is to develop your brain. And there are so many things that scientists will say. I mean, and the first that I would recommend is read.
Yes.
Read everything, and read to learn, read to understand, read to grow, read
To execute.
to better execute, read to be yourself. Because the key thing is that I always tell people, the reason why some of us find ourselves growing faster and becoming better at what we do is because we read from people who have already done what we want to do.
Yeah.
So we find out all the things that they had, the mistakes they've made, the things they would ask to avoid. And then we read from multiple people, so we know, okay, this is best for me, this is not good for me. Though this person went through this, I don't want to go through that. I want to take this step. You get informed.
That's true.
The next thing is we should listen. Listen to podcasts like yours. Listen to great podcasts. There's so many other podcasts for learning, for growing, to become better. I think it's important that we put time down to purposefully listen to things that we are interested in, that's going to help us to grow and improve ourselves.
I do agree with you.
I think that people watch series and movies for the fun of it.
Whoa,
I don't.
that's a good one, because I don't too.
Yeah, I don't watch movies only for the fun of it. I watch to learn, because movies tells us things or teaches us lessons that we are not even able to learn in a book or in listening to people or whatever it may be.
That's true.
I tell people that I have learned about the monarchy of England without going to a school, by watching The Crown.
Oh, wow.
I have learned about money laundering by watching Ozark on Netflix. So if you watch these things and you see what they do, and you learn about a particular thing they are using as the storyline, as the setting, it gives you a better appreciation and understanding of those things. So I love watching documentaries because you know
Yeah,
what?
me
They
too.
teach me a lot.
Me
They
too.
teach
Me
you
too.
about food, about water, about people. So you watch autobiographies and biographies of people, so you learn about them. People would commit to growing their brains by doing that. It's important. I was just listening to a podcast about sleep,
Okay.
you know, and sleeping is important, so your brain can function in a way that it can capture all this information that we are talking about for you to learn. But also, it's not easy to do these things. So I always recommend that one have a learning partner or have an accountability partner.
Do you have one?
I have plenty because
No,
I
I don't
mentor
have
too
one.
many people who are always checking.
I don't have anybody.
Oh yeah, oh
I don't
nice,
have
oh
anybody.
really?
Listen to me. I motivate myself. I do it myself. Oh yes, everything I say right now, I even have a library. I do it myself. Sometimes when I'm
Mm,
gonna take a shit,
mm,
I'll just take. Oh, I'm
mm.
so sorry for saying that. Excuse my word. But when I'm going to the toilet, I'll just take like a book, and just
Yeah.
read. And what I do is, so the books I have, it's not even for like
Mm-hmm.
reading like the whole thing, but sometimes I can read a page or two, and
Mm-hmm.
that page or two
Mm-hmm.
is like I'll meditate on it and execute on
Mm-hmm.
that. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
grow. And also the
Mm-hmm.
music I listen to, music is
Mm-hmm.
powerful. So I really do not
Yeah.
have an accountability. I don't have that. Because honestly
Yeah.
speaking, let's be real, I have a very,
Mm-hmm.
very, very strong mind. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
disciplined, and I've been training myself this way to be this focused for the longest
Mm.
time.
So having someone who supports you because it's not easy,
Yeah.
to have you haven't done this thing for a long time. You haven't, there are people who you meet and say, how many books have you read in the year? They're like, what book? So it means that they haven't even tried to do anything at all. So, and I would also ask people, for some of us who are certified coaches,
Yeah.
we say get a coach
Yeah.
who will be your support, provide you with. I am a transformational coach, so I won't say I will guide you. No, I will help you to go through a reflection process, because as transformational coaches, we believe that people need to go through a reflection process to make their own decisions and learn through the process of reflection
Yeah.
before they decide to take action. So if you're taking action, you're not taking action because a coach told you or somebody told you. It's from your own learning process that has made you take the decisions that you take in that process. So these are the things I would say, apart from physical exercise, people can do to grow themselves.
And since we are all advertising, me too, I'm a mindset coach.
Very important.
I'm a mindset coach. Me, once you are with me, your mindset will transform. I don't know how to even market myself, but like, you just go on my page and your mindset will transform. Because my clientele, you can't afford me. My clientele, like my clientele are high level clients. If you want to afford me, you need to like bag like some €1,000. Do you understand? Like I don't deal in Ghana cedis, I deal in euros. I
Oh,
don't even deal in
nice.
dollars.
Yes, yes. So you see, I think you're bringing a topic up that is also interesting for us to talk about around value.
Okay.
That personal development ultimately builds your value as a person. So it's of course, you don't expect that you haven't made any investment in yourself, or you haven't made any, and you haven't planted anything and you expect to reap something. No. If you want to be valued at a particular price, or you want to be seen as somebody who is at a particular level of costing, you need to build the value so that people can see what they are paying for, they value what they are paying for, they know that if I'm dealing with this person, I am going to get value. If I say I'm going to someone to go and say, okay, please help me write a document, I know that this person is so good at what they write, so that when the person tells me, pay me $1,000 for me to write this document for you, the person, oh, of course. I always say, I learned earlier in my life that there are people now who in their life, you don't pay for the quality of work they do, you pay for the name on the work.
Wow.
So if you come to that person, the person may do an average work like an average person would do, but because of the name on it, okay, if Joyce I in Ghana, that's a PowerPoint presentation. It's not because of what is inside the PowerPoint presentation, it's because it's Joyce I, Or if Sharon says that I'm going to give you a mindset coaching session,
Put
and you're
some
paying
respect on my name.
$1,000, Exactly. You know that you are paying for some quality, not
Yes.
something that the person will not have any method or any scientific background to it or anything.
Exactly.
Because the person has taken time to go and learn, to go and get certified, so they know the ethics of what you're doing. So it's important that we talk about. And for me, I think if I'm going to write a book, my first book is going to be this conversation around value.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the only way you can have anything in your life to be paid, to be seen, respected, or whatever is if you build value.
That's so true. And let's also add that it takes time for you to add value to yourself. Like, for example, when I took a course a few months ago, right? After taking the course, it's not just about taking the course and getting the certification, but it's about you practicing what you've learned and experimenting with what you've learned and making mistakes. And, so it takes time. Like, honestly speaking, every single thing takes time in life. That's why patience is a virtue. And it's like you've just got to like be patient with yourself, even in developing yourself. You might not see the progress while you are putting in the work. Just keep putting in the work, no matter what it is. You might read a book and feel like you didn't get anything from the book, but trust me, it's in your subconscious. One day you will need that information, and it will
Exactly.
just come out, and you are like, "Hey, where did I get this information from?" But it's as a result of what you read probably like 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Find a way that works for you, but never stop training your brain. Keep training your brain. So what advice would you give to anyone who is inconsistent with your personal growth?
I think one is, as we've said already, it's about the value we put on ourselves.
Yes.
Because remember that if you value something, if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a wife or somebody and you value them, see how much you invest in them. See how much you try to please them. You try to make them good. Or even whatever you have is your watch, your shoe, or whatever you value in your life. The amount of time and quality things that you place on these things, that's the same thing you need to put on yourself. Because remember, you have yourself alone. All the other things are things fleeting by, but your capacity, your strength, your value, your health, whoever you have, whatever thing that you have about yourself, is what you have to give. I always tell people, I have a mentor who told me that, look, Robert, in my life, sometimes I restart. I restart in the sense that I move from maybe Ghana to go and start my life in the US. And the only thing that makes me thrive is because I have built my brain and my mind, and I can still move in life even without having nothing. I can start from 0 to 100 again, only because you have invested in yourself, so much. Imagine you have gold. Gold, when you have it and you keep it and you polish it and you improve upon it, wherever you send it, you can sell it and it become of a higher value. So please, the first thing is to value yourself. Put some importance on yourself. Budget for your personal development. Save some money. Buy some books at least this year. Commit to buy at least one self-development book. Or even download. Because nowadays, even you don't need to do much. Just download it online.
Audiobooks.
PDFs. Just even when you're on your phone, you are in a truck, or you are in a taxi, or you are in your car, as Sharon said, if you're in a bank and you're waiting, you go on your phone, you are not looking at social media alone, but they also go into your book that you are supposed to read at least one page a day, and you are reading. So I think it's about one, value yourself, and two, making the effort. And nobody's going to make it for you. There's nothing we can do. Sharon and I, we can't come to your house and wake you up in the morning. No. It's you. And for somebody like me, if you ask me such a question, where one of my key values in my life is a sense of responsibility. So if people don't show a sense of responsibility around me, I become impatient. So please take your life as your own. Don't give it to government. Don't give it to me. Don't give it to anybody. Own it. And when something goes wrong, it's yours. When something goes right, it's yours.
How bad do you want to succeed in life? If you don't really want to succeed in life, then it's okay for you to be on your phone 24/7 and watching TikTok videos and being on social media or watching a movie. But if you really want to succeed in life and you want a better life for yourself, then you start putting in the work. And it would even entail you getting rid of some friends, because the people you surround yourself with, unfortunately or fortunately, you become like them. So you have to be conscious of your surroundings and your close circle. We've got to the end of the episode, but before you go, can you tell us any life lesson you live by?
My philosophy in life, as I can mention, is that my life is my responsibility. Whatever I achieve, whatever I do, whatever happens to me, I have a hand in it. So I need to be very mindful of what I do, what I choose, what I say, how I say it, and where I am, who I allow in my circle is all my responsibility. I believe, and this is something interesting, it would be interesting for you to hear this, that I say, I believe if there is a hell, that hell is not for people who did what some of the Bible purposefully. If you don't live fully, if you don't take responsibility of your life, and you don't use all the skills, the capacity, the flair, the joy, everything in you, if you don't use it, man, if there's any punishment at the end of life, please remember that you are going to have it.
Exactly. And finally, just to say, the development of Africa is not the amount of aid we get, but it's our mindset. Once the mindset of people in Africa changes, I promise you Africa will change. It's the mindset. It's really not money or financial aid or people coming back from the diaspora to help us. It's just the mindset. So we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. Before we leave, I'll be going over the top rules that are inspired by Aliko Dangote. Number 1, be focused and be dedicated. Choose your path in life and focus on it. Embrace technology as a way to cut costs. As Robert said during this episode, AI is a thing now. So try and learn about AI so that you wouldn't be left behind and you'll be able to cut costs, even as a business owner. Thank you all so much for listening to being Sharon Gibson's podcast. Kindly leave a 5-star review if you did enjoy this episode. I love you as much as you love yourself. Bye.